frame by frame. For instance, the Golem, which is in the preview trailer but not in this build, his HD texture is, the file size on it is like 13 megs, which is just crazy huge. I mean, that's bigger than like the vast majority of the entire file size of like a DS game, which is, from our background, you know, it makes it even more crazy sounding. But oh, more stuff.
So more questions?
Comments, just comments actually. So, this is actually kind of like hard to do.
Hard to use my Mac and its scrolling properties?
Well, I mean,
it's hard to check the comments.
Mac retarded. Yeah, Ryan Baker and I both worked at Black Lantern for a few years in Answer to Pause RPG. I quit in 2009 to go indie, and by go indie, I mean actually just do a lot of contract work for other people.
Well, you had a pretty cool life working on.
Yeah.
Why don't you talk about we didn't actually mention the game that you did before we started Pixelscopic.
Yeah. So whenever I quit Black Lantern in 2009, I went independent doing contract work. One of the things that I did was a little casual game, you know, typical kind of hidden object, big fish thing. But I actually did that from Mexico. My wife is a Mexican national originally. We met here in the U.S. And then right about the time that I was wanting to quit and do my own thing, we met, and we actually moved down to Mexico. I lived in Mexico and did game programming remotely for about a year before we decided to come back to the U.S. and start Pixelscopic and do all that fun stuff. Okay, Mark Wells. So the Golem got laid out in a giant texture atlas for the animations. Yes. Yeah, the Golem and a lot of different stuff we export out frame by frame in the current version, which is terrible for a lot of reasons, for texture memory reasons and for file size. So Spine will have massive savings for us on all that. In a few years for some of this to become open source. I hope so. The game source, I don't know, but I hope one thing that I wanted to do is get our engine out there. Once it's been used in a shipped commercial game, and I'm confident that it's not horribly broken in a lot of different ways. It'll probably definitely be released in some form or another. One thing that I want to do on TigSource, or through my TigSource devlog soon, is actually get up a very basic, simple application sort of framework that uses some of the stuff for our engine, and then produce technical demos using that application, such as a lighting demo. And the plan is for most of that stuff to be open source. I don't know what the timeline on that is, but at some point in time. Full gamepad 360 controller. It's actually being played with a 360 controller right now. So we support any X input gamepads at the moment, and we'll add support for other gamepads later. Does it motivate you guys knowing other indie titles like Cthulhu Saves the World that sold so well? I mean, yeah, it's really great to see that there is a market for games that aren't 3D shoot 'em ups and that kind of stuff. You know, when we started Pixelscopic, we definitely had an idea of the kind of games that we wanted to make, but we had no idea if there was anyone out there who would actually want to play those kinds of games too, really. In the last few years, there's been a huge explosion of, well, indie games in general, but lots and lots of the kinds of games that we not only like to play but also make. So one of the most amazing things about PAX Prime 2012 when we took the game, you know, we took the game, it was basically just a prototype at that point, a very limited prototype even. But we had no idea if anyone would actually even care. It turned out a lot of people really liked it, which was a huge morale boost, and also proved to us that, yeah, we can take some of the genres and game types that we grew up playing from the 80s and translate those into more modern contemporary experiences, and that there are people out there who would like to play them. So that's pretty awesome. Oh man, lots of comments. Holy crap.
We just got a flood?
Yeah. Wow. Good news. LT Strip in Mount Vernon. Hey, what's going on? Almost works good. Okay, that's great. This is a question for you, Baker. Any character abilities around alternate vision detection? Like the thief can see traps, the warrior can see monster health, etc.?
It's not something we had talked about, but that's a pretty cool idea. So yeah, we might be able to do something kind of like that. We'll talk about it and see.
In full campaign mode, will you be able to backtrack to rooms that you previously cleared? Yes. Will mobs repopulate in previously cleared rooms? Maybe. I don't think that will be a general use case, but in some cases maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll probably have to have some respawning enemies, just so. Yeah, I mean, because it wouldn't be really interesting if you totally cleared out a dungeon and it's just like empty at that point, especially if you're having to backtrack and solve puzzles. So yeah, probably a few things will respawn, but if you clear out rooms, that'll be fairly persistent. We actually want the whole dungeon to be really continuous. So when you go from one room to another, we don't even fade to black between those rooms. That's the goal. So, you know, this build, since we're just showing the endless drop survival mode, that isn't representative of how the final game will work. So we will have, for anyone who's kind of late coming into the stream, we're going to have total dungeons, you know, like 10 to 20 or so rooms that are all continuous.
Are you planning on making the monsters where they take damage from traps as well, or just now where they avoid traps and the player can be affected? Well, actually, they do take damage from traps, like the spike trap.
Yeah.
The thing about the fireballs, which you mentioned just a little bit lower, is that even though the game is 2D, actually all of the logic is in 3D, and the fireballs are actually going over the slimes, which I don't think was intended. So right now, the rats and the slimes, I think, are below the fireball level. It doesn't visually look like that because a lot of the values that we put in, you know, we do quickly test stuff out, and none of it's really been balanced or tuned. Have you guys considered doing development live streams during your Kickstarter? I find it to be a great way to get the word out and also get work done. Actually, we haven't talked about that.
Someone was asking me if I could do an art live stream, so that's something I may consider doing this week sometime. So we'll let everyone know if we decide to do something like that.
Yeah.
We'll probably do at least one more live stream, I can say that much. I don't know if it'll be another one like this or development or art or something like that.
Okay, well, I think I got caught up.
So it's basically 3, yeah. So if anyone has any last questions, get them in really quick, because we're going to have to go and get back to work, actually.
Thank you guys very much for all of your support, for coming in during the live stream, voting on Greenlight, backing on Kickstarter, or even just helping spread the word at all about the game. We definitely appreciate it. Hopefully you can see that we put a lot of work and a lot of love and passion into it, and that's just going to continue over the next several months. So thank you guys very much.
Has there been anything else pop up on Twitter?
No. There's one more question. More information on the history lore says more information coming soon. I'm going to add a short summary there for new backers, or is that info just in the updates? We actually haven't released any backer-only updates yet. So
and probably won't.
Yeah, I don't know if we will during the Kickstarter campaign. Actually,
yeah, those are all public. But if you're wondering about, was that about story? Sorry, I missed.
Yeah, history and lore.
Okay, yeah, that's actually going to be the next update. I have it mostly written. A couple things I need to add. I'm probably going to send that out tomorrow. So yeah, more info about the world and the lore is coming. We didn't want to reveal too much too soon, just because we don't want to spoil the story. And so obviously there's a lot that we'll be holding back because we want you to find out in the game. But yeah, we're going to try to reveal enough that it kind of gives you a taste and gets everyone interested in the world, because we've actually put quite a bit of work into the sort of mythology. Like, I mean, basically we have written up like how the universe for this world began, and this story, the story of Delver's Drop, is actually somewhat tied into that. So, but the way that actually kind of plays out, you'll have to play the game and see.
This room is brutal.
Yeah, this one's really tough. I remember playing it, I think yesterday for the first time.
One more question. Does the $50 backer get to vote on the included class?
On the exclusive Kickstarter class?
Yeah.
That's something a couple of people asked. We may consider it, but I think that, well, because there are only so many characters I can develop, we may just kind of decide which one the exclusive class is. But they will get to vote on the 2 kind of extra classes that get included. So for anyone who doesn't know, we're going to have 5 classes total. Only 3 have been announced right now: the Rogue, Barbarian, and the Sorcerer. And the Rogue is what we're showing right now. But yeah, you'll get to vote on 2 more for a total of 5.
Okay, that's it.
Awesome. Well, thanks everyone who showed up for the live stream. Like I said, we hope to do another one of these. Thanks for all of your